everyone, welcome to my channel, The Black Suit. I'm Gigi. I'm a working attorney, and I started this channel to help women like myself with career advice and workplace related tips. Thank you for coming to my channel, and in today's video I'm going to cover a little bit more about the work-life balance that I previously discussed in my first video. After that video, in which I provided some work from home tips, I've gotten requests to talk more about how to balance work and life during the holidays, since we are celebrating Thanksgiving and the Christmas season is coming up. So it's a very timely subject, and I wanted to talk about specifically how to control that feeling of always being on call and being tethered to our phones, which is sort of the norm these days, especially as we're working from home, and there's definitely no defined boundary between the work life and the home life. So some folks have asked that I share my personal experience working during the holidays or juggling holidays and work. And I have to say, I have not been very good at juggling life during the holidays and work. I tend to do more work than maybe I should do. So, for example, my first year as an associate, I pretty much worked the entirety of Thanksgiving Day. I really did not treat it as a holiday. I treated it more as a full work day. And the subsequent years were not too different. I often worked maybe half a day or a little bit over half a day. So it was a learning experience for sure, trying to figure out how much to work and how much to enjoy my time off. And it was difficult, I would say, to juggle those things. I found myself feeling pretty frustrated and at times a little bit distressed at even the smallest things going on around me. For example, one Thanksgiving I remember feeling really frustrated just at the thought of having to preheat the oven to cook food or to cut the turkey, simple things like that. So I wasn't super adept at finding that balance. And research has actually shown that when employees are made to strike that balance or find themselves having to strike that balance, it can create psychological distress because of the conflict of having to either prioritize time for family or prioritize time for work. And then on top of the psychological distress, employees also find that there may be additional family conflicts that come from trying to find the balancing act between work and life. The research I'm talking about is linked down in the description box below if you're interested in checking out more about the findings and the information I've provided. It's very useful if you want to take a look and see what studies have shown. Anyway, so with all that said, I want to provide you a few simple tips about how to not check your phone during the holidays, or how to fight the urge to check your phone during the holidays, because I know it can be very hard to resist that urge. So number one is tell yourself that you will not check your phone, or at least will not check your phone more than once or twice during the day. I think just saying it out loud can reinforce it in your mind that you're not going to do it. And if you need a little additional reinforcement, I would say to look at yourself in the mirror, stand in front of a mirror like this, got a mirror here, and you just say to yourself, I will not check my phone today, and see if that helps. And an additional method you can try is to just write it out on paper. Again, I think that will help reinforce what you've already said out loud to yourself. So I have a little example here of something I wrote to myself. I will not check my phone. A little happy face, because you deserve happiness in your life. So that's my tip number 1. And for tip number 2, I would recommend that if tip number 1 doesn't necessarily do it for you, then have somebody hide your phone, or go hide it yourself. But having somebody hide it in a place that they won't disclose to you may be more helpful, because that really helps you fight the urge of looking at your phone, because you won't know where it is. But of course, be sure to have the person who hid the phone remember where they hid it, so that you can get your phone back when you need it. Now, if you're not comfortable having somebody hide your phone, then maybe have a bet with somebody that each time you check your phone, that person will get $5. That way you are incentivized to not check your phone, because you don't want to have to pay $5 each time you're checking your phone. So that's my tip number 2. For tip number 3, I offer a baby step in case tip number 1 and 2 don't work for you because they're too drastic. And the baby step is to turn off all the alerts on your phone, maybe even shut down your phone, or deactivate some of the apps that relate to work just for the day. And that way you won't be bothered by any notifications or any phone calls that might relate to work. And that way it's sort of a gradual step toward helping you to just completely forget that you may have work-related demands. And for my 4th tip, I would recommend that you find some things to distract yourself from checking your phone. Again, this is another baby step you can take if tips 1 and 2 are too drastic. If you can find some activity to distract yourself, such as cooking the turkey, finding a new recipe to help you cook a turkey, or to help you prepare a side for Thanksgiving dinner, maybe start a board game, a puzzle game that will take a while to finish, or have video chats with your friends and family who can't be with you in the same place because of social distancing. All those activities will help you take your mind off your work-related demands and any urge to check your phone. And for tip number 5, which I think is perhaps the most important thing to keep in mind and to take away from this video, is that please remember nothing is that urgent that it will require you to devote a majority of your Thanksgiving day to work. And I've learned this from personal experience. Perhaps rarely there will be something due on Thanksgiving, but that is so rare, and more likely than not, there will be nothing due on Thanksgiving Day, since the courts are closed, clients are closed, so nothing is that urgent that it couldn't wait until Friday or the weekend to be handled, or even the week after Thanksgiving. Those are my 5 tips to help you guys survive Thanksgiving Day and the upcoming Christmas season. Again, I know the urge to check your phone can be really overwhelming sometimes, but do try some of these tips and see if they work for you. Going back to tip number 5, when I mentioned that I've learned this for myself, I've learned it the hard way, I think that looking back on all those times that I worked during the holidays, it really didn't benefit me that much in the long run, if at all. I think things would have turned out the same way had I not worked on Thanksgiving or worked during the holiday season. So again, there wasn't really anything tangible to be gained from spending my entire Thanksgiving on work instead of enjoying the holiday. And some firms and companies have started to realize that the struggle of feeling tethered to your work and to your phone all the time can be detrimental to your psychological health and your family well-being. So some companies have adopted strategies to help promote less on-call feeling in the employees. For example, companies can shut down their email systems after work hours so that employees can't check their emails even if they felt like they needed to. So that's an interesting development, and we'll have to wait and see if that becomes commonplace in the workplace. So thank you so much for tuning in today. I wish you a wonderful Thanksgiving. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button and consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.